This is our GMC motorhome, a 1977 Palm Beach. Original fabrics on the interior. You can see what's left of the original shag carpeting. Looked for quite some time trying to find a fabric replacement that looks like it's from the era. Not been able to find anything suitable. It's now time to tear into and replace these fabrics. We've already replaced the original seats, as you can see, the driver's seats with some leather captain chairs from a aftermarket provider. You can see the original fabrics here have had better days. Primarily the reason that we're now doing this is that we've had a squirrel invasion. These squirrels left 55 gallons of nuts in after they ate through the floor and then proceeded to sit on the comfy fabric furniture and do their business. Now we are looking at the sum total of the GMC furniture. This is a Palm Beach, originally outfitted by GMC. So these are, I believe, flex steel manufactured the seating for this motorhome. So you see the two dinette seats, the base of the bunk, the top bunk, two faces for the rear dinette or rear facing, side facing seats, and the two side facing seats, and the various covers, bumpers, etc. Now we're looking at the back of the side-facing seats in the rear of the coach. You can see they bolt up together like this, and then each of the frames is hog ring tied to the frame on the back of the couch, or on the back of the seat. So it looks like it folds over the top, sewn down here along the edge, and then hog ring to the frame all the way around the bottom. So go over the top first, then down and hog ring to the frame. More detail on the back frame of the side facing dinette seats in the rear. The foam is actually captive, sewn inside, and the top is actually hog ring to the frame too. This is the top edge here of the back. Note that the frame is wrapped in foam around the edges. Now that the rear frame is free, you can see the foam with some muslin on the top corners. I assume that's to keep it from tearing through with the wear. There's the frame. It's free. The cables that hold the base to the frame at this point can just be wrestled free of the clips without actually removing the clips. I'm afraid I'd break the clips if I tried to remove them. So I left them on, just kind of twisted it off. It will come off. Okay, now you're looking at the base of the side-facing dinette, or not dinette, but side-facing seats that fold down into a bed. You can just see it's again hog ringed around. This is the front edge, and there is the back edge. You can see they've used muslin in the places where it never is seen. This is in the back corner. That's where it bolts on. That's where the cable clip goes. and you can see the backs of the buttons. Note that the seat bases are a bit different. They are wrapped, instead of with foam on the edges, they are wrapped with this batting. The muslin is not sewn to the foam like on the seat back. I assume that's on the seat back to keep it from falling. Now we're looking at the back of the bunk. So that's the top edge. You can see where the brackets are there to hang it on the wall, and it's again hog-tied or hog-ringed around the edge, glued on the sides, and then hog-ringed along this bottom edge too. You can see the belt attachment where it hangs from the ceiling, and then it's hog-ringed all the way along the bottom, the other belt attachment. This, you can see, is just glued on, and then you see the Velcro where the flap in the back, this is the flap, just folds over the whole thing and attaches. This is the couch base, and this is pretty simple. Of course, you unbolt it from the frame to get access to it, and it's just a welting hog ring to the frame all the way around, including the sides. You can see that it's got about 3 or 4 inch foam. I'll have to check that, but polyester batting, I think, whatever this is called, muslin or whatever, on the back. And other than that, it's just pretty much wrapped and hog ringed. This might be the easiest piece of all. Okay, here we are looking at the dinette seats. These are in the forward part of the Palm Beach. That wasn't quite obvious how to get them apart. I took the 2 bolts out that were, there are 2 screws that were holding the, what appeared to be holding the back on, when in fact what they were really doing was holding the base on. You have to release the handle, this little spring loaded handle that's on that allows you to lower this into a flat bed. That released it from this pin, this kind of index pin that holds it in place. So the back is actually held on here behind the spring with 2 screws on each side. 2 of my very large screws, probably the side towards the window, in fact it is the side towards the window, had been, the frame is a little rusty here, the screws were a little rusty, so use the trick of the very large screwdriver and a pair of vice grips attached to the handle. Gives you enough leverage to get them off. Alright, now we're looking at the back of the frame after I've released the 2 screws that were holding this back flap on, and it's just wrapped around a piece of metal. You see there are 2 more screws that are actually holding the back frame in place. Those will have to be removed to get that off too. The metal rod that holds the back of the dinette seats. So this would be the upright portion. This would be the back. This is the one facing the back of the passenger seat or the co-pilot seat in the front cockpit. This flap is actually sewn across this edge to this metal bar. There's a metal bar essentially just wrapped in fabric, no batting, just wrapped inside of there. So I assume to make this new, you would sew this little piece and slide the bar inside it that holds retention on the back of the seat. Alright, similar to the other, we're still on the back of the upright portion of the dinette seat. You can see that it's sewn as kind of a sleeve over top of the frame. This side's been cut open so you can see this was sewn down to about here. I assume that that's all sewn before it's put in place and then pulled tightly down over it. Again, hog ringed around the edges and foam batting or foam glued to the side rails, both sides. Now we're looking at the back side of the upright portion of the dinette. This is the side that faces the door, so they actually did this one a little bit different than the other side. This has some batting inside. Again, the metal bar across the bottom edge, like the other one, that was held in by a button here on the end of the pocket. This also has wood where make the seat a little broader, a little more stable as you're walking in the door. So it looks like it's stapled around, which is actually going to be a little easier to remove than all the hog rings, I believe. We're looking at the back of the dinette seat that faces the door of the coach. This one is a little more complex. I was actually wrong about the staples. They're harder to pull out than the hog rings. They're very long staples. In fact, I haven't even pulled the staples yet. But you can see there's a wood frame that's angled that fits inside of the, around the back to make it a little more substantial looking as you come in the door. Neat little trick. Otherwise, it's about the same as the front version. Okay, I finished disassembling, so I've got all of the frames ready to be sanded and painted. The piles of fabric and foam, there were some disgusting things inside there. Very happy that we're reupholstering. And the remainder of the frames. So that's the white one is the wall unit for the couch. And then you have the base unit for the side-facing seats. And then over here is our roll of new fabric. You're going to have to wait and see for future videos of the pattern.